everyone, Taya here from Quilting Delights, and we are on the actual quilting segment of the Machine Quilting Revival Bed Runner. And I just real quickly want to remind you that we have 3 other projects, actually a fifth one coming out here after we do the Bed Runner. But these projects are really awesome. One is called Between the Lines, and that I think was the second one that we did. That's a tabletop or a square one. We also did Pillow Talk. That was our first one, and it was really well received. And then another really great project was Critters on the Go, which was a wall hanging. All 3 of these were unique in their quilt designs and the processes that we used, but they were also very organized in how the quilting was laid out and structured. On the Bed Runner, on this project, we're going to give you a little bit more room to be creative with your designs because we're going to be doing quite a bit of free motion quilting as well as ruler work. So let me show you what that means. So we've gotten our Bed Runner done, and just like the other projects, we are printing off and including a full-size template of the quilting designs that we suggest. And when I say suggest, it is just that. It's just an idea for how to get started with the quilting. And this Bed Runner is very, very linear. So we want to add some round movement to it, some round quilting designs to soften those straight lines and really add some features, good quilting features. Okay, so let's take a look at what's on this template. So where you see the grayed out squares and rectangles, those are representative of the blue. And then above you can see the squares that are the darker blue. Now mine happens to go the opposite direction of the template. My peaks and valleys, the blue peaks and valleys, are the opposite direction, but you can get the idea here and see that every time we do a pillar, a tower, we're changing direction. So how do you do that? How do you draw it out once you've gotten it done? Well, a couple of other things to think about also are what are we doing in this area here? And before we print this, I'm going to draw in the lines, but wherever there's a transition, we're going to be going down and then up, and then up, and then these are all straight lines that are an inch apart, so you can use your echo guides if you're working on another machine, but if you have a Bernina stitch regulator, you can use the ruler work attachments that are compatible with the BSR that we've invented, and those work really great. So we're going to go up, and then it's going to peak here at this one, and so this one we're going to draw a line down the center, and it's going to go up on half of it, and then it's going to turn and go down, 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 down. So we use these pillars and the turn, where they change direction, as the place to change direction for your quilting. So that creates a really nice streamlined quilting line there. In between the pillars, we're just doing straight line quilting. Now, you can't do any of that really until we get this center part done first. So let me talk about how to do that piece. So I've gone and I've grabbed my So Kind of Wonderful curve it rulers. I love these because they're a longer span and I can really get the curve to work the way I want it to. Now, this was a tough one to figure out because we didn't know what to do with it. So I took my ruler and I went from one corner to the next corner and marked it from the outside edge to the outside edge. So each one of these gets marked from the outside edge to the outside edge. It gets marked from outside edge to outside edge. So we've created those curves, and then we just quilted a 1/4 inch inside. And you're going to do that all the way up and all the way down. Now, when you get to a transition where it goes from peak to, goes from, it comes up to a flat spot and then goes down, across there, you're going to do a straight line, and that's going to give you the transition back over to the next curve. Okay, so once we get that done, you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing on the other side so that we create this really cool channel down the middle here for you to do some free motion quilting. Now, we've given you a couple of ideas on here. I call this the deviled egg. I love it. I don't think it works all that great here, but what does work really great is what we call rainbow quilting. And it is just a really super cool fill. And both of these and one more will be on the template so that you can actually see how we do it. But I just want to emphasize again, especially for those of you that are beginning machine quilters, you don't have to do this free motion. I mean, you have to do it free motion, but you don't have to do it without a template. And so until I get really good at this, I mean, I've seen videos where, you know, they just do this like it's nobody's business, but I don't have that skill yet. So in order to get that skill, I'm going to work on drawing it so that I can see how to quilt it. And then by the time, if you do this rainbow quilting, by the time you get it done, you'll have mastered how to make the turns and how to keep your spacing nice in between. Okay, let's talk about, so once you fill this channel in, that's going to be the first thing that you do. Once you fill this channel in, then go back and quilt all of your straight line quilting on one side. That way, all of this is done from here over. Now the question is, what are we going to do on the other side? And there are some really cool, this is called cathedral window quilting. It looks like the cathedral window pattern. And believe it or not, it just uses a round, uses a circle. And so let me remember which size circle we used. I think it was this one, yep. It's this little guy. And you start, use your lines on the seams as a guide for where to start and where to stop. So that's where we're going to do our little cathedral window pieces. So you can see on the rulers, if you're using the good measure rulers, you can see that there's a line right across here. And that's where we're going to line it up on the seam to do our quilting. So that's an easy way to set that up. Oops, sorry, I told you the wrong one. It's the first line, not the second line. But you can set that up and it makes it super easy. So you start with a circle, and again, it's on the template that we're sending you, so you can actually just lay it underneath your fabric and trace it as well. But you're going to need to use the circular rulers when you do the machine quilting. So you're going to use your circles, and you're either going to do quarters or halves, and you don't have to do all of it. Notice how we, for example here, we just threw one out to the inside of the open space. We didn't actually finish the circle. You don't have to. It adds some creative element and excitement to it when you do it that way. We've also shown you here a little bit about deviled egg and pebble quilting, which is what I like to do. You can do just stippling. You can do whatever you want. You could do something fun inside of the cathedral windows that's not this, and then use this fill for the outside. But you have an absolutely amazing opportunity to do incredible fill work, and it does not all have to be the same, but it does have to be finished. So once you get all of that done, you can put your peeper binding on, and this project will be done, and you'll be ready to go on to project number 5 of the Machine Quilting Revival. Thank you guys so much for your time. Please remember to check out, to like our YouTube channel and check out our Facebook page. We're posting lots of pictures as they come in from you, and we will see you next time. Thank you.